Hello, everyone. This is Commissioner Elena Sanders. As I come to you today, with an update and some feedback so I can give you what's happening, some update information on what's happening here in District 3, just to give you some information. Some of the questions that you may have had for me, and I have answers to them. I also did a ride along today with our interim chair, Mr. Lanier Sims. So we had the opportunity to ride around District 3 along with our county engineer, Chester Clegg. So I'm going to be giving you some updates and information. Feel free to share this video as I give you the updates on what's happening in District 3, as well as developments and so forth, and construction and various things that we have in infrastructure that's happening here in our district. So feel free to take this time and share with the friends, share with your neighbors, share with residents here, especially in our district, so that they can be aware of what's going on. As I stated, today I have the opportunity to do a ride along with our interim chair, Mr. Lanier Sims. I had a meeting with him today, as he is going to be meeting with all of the county commissioners to go around our districts. And today we went around District 3. I wanted him to see the various things that you all see, that I see because I live in the area, and your concerns from the north side of District 3 to the western side of District 3. And I want to give you some updates, some things that are happening on the west side that also affects District 3 as well. It's been a while since I've been live in regards to the updates and feedback because we had some changes going on with the county, but I want to make sure that you are aware of what's happening within our district. So thank you. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to post them below. I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm looking at all the networks. I'm looking at the feedback as well. So feel free to do that, and I will answer your questions live as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in with me. So let's go a little bit farther. First, I want to start on Brown Bridge Road. For those who are coming onto Brown Bridge Road from the Turner Lake area, you know that Brown Bridge is going to be widened, but from Turner Lake all the way to Crowell Road, that's going to be a 3-lane, okay? That's going to be a 3-lane that's going to happen, that's going to occur on Brown Bridge Road. Going all the way down Brown Bridge Road, which is going to be widened, there are going to have sidewalks. So all of Brown Bridge Road, once the widening has been completed, those of you on the western side that said, where is our walkable and our bikeable trails? We will have sidewalks on Brown Bridge Road. Another good thing on Brown Bridge Road as well is for those who live in those subdivisions, we're looking for that way to get in and out of their subdivisions. Yes, there are going to be the easements or the left turn area where you can get into your subdivision, so you won't be making an immediate stop or having a rear end situation, as we know it happens on Brown Bridge. So all of that is going to be incorporated once Brown Bridge Road is widened. So I hope that it's going to be a good plus for everyone that's worrying about the widening. They're looking to start that really soon. And we know that it's going to be a 3-lane process, and I believe all the way down to Brown Bridge Road. It stops at Crawwell, it's going to be the 3 lane, and then we go further, it's going to be widened as well. So thanks to that, we're going to have that happen at Brown Bridge. Now, while that we are on Brown Bridge Road, let's touch on Brown Bridge and Jack Neely. Remember about 2 years ago, you guys, that we spoke on how Jack Neely Road, trying to get onto Brown Bridge Road, was a dark area. And I had lights placed there thanks to those who work with me in the engineering department. Thank you so much for making it happen and putting a light there so you can actually see getting on to Brown Bridge Road. That was a dangerous area for us. So we lit it up about 2 years ago. So guess what? Once they widen Brown Bridge Road, that whole intersection is going to be lit up. More lights for you to be able to see to get onto Brown Bridge Road, to enter onto Jack Neely, and to also get onto Brown Bridge Road. So that's happening as well. Now that we are on Jack Neely, we are on the most talked about area, and that is the roundabout. That has been the most talked about area. It was a nightmare in the beginning. That it started. We did not know which way to go and which way to turn. But now we are getting some progress in regards to the Kirkland roundabout, the Kirkland and Jack Neely roundabout. And so if you are or have been there recently, you have seen lights being installed. That was one of the issues for those who travel on that road at night, is where are the lights? So as you will see, the lights, the tall lights, they're probably like they're 20 feet tall, probably more than that, tall lights that are going to be hovering over the roundabout. It's going to give you a lot of lighting to be able to see where you're going. It has been put up, and so the wiring is going to be included as well. We did the ride along today with, as I stated, with Interim Chair Lanier Sims and also Mr. Chester Clegg. We rode around District 3 today. So I was told that they were doing the wiring for the lights, and that should be up, illuminating you probably sometime next week. So that is coming. So thank you all for your feedback. You will be getting lights. I also spoke about the sidewalks on Jack Neely Road. That was a concern for me. We know that some of our students, some of our youth have been trying to walk to school. We've had some who get hit by cars and almost get hit by cars trying to get to their destination, get to school, because some ride their bikes and some walk that live in the area. We talked about the sidewalks. Mr. Clegg said it can be done, but let me give you a visualization of what's happening on Jack Neely. We know that Jack Neely Road has a lot of ditches. So the option in regards to that is that you put it in front of the ditch, the sidewalk, which would be dangerous. As we know, that's too close to the road. We have to put it behind the ditch. And so that will require either acquiring property. That's the two options to make it cheaper for us. Or we will have to fill in the ditches, which will provide some infrastructure to fill them in to create that sidewalk. So those are the options. We did talk about that because that's a concern for a lot of you. Make sure we have our children be able to ride their bikes on Jack Neely Road and to be able to get to those schools. We have 4 schools in that area. That's Clements, Fairview, that has access to Jack Neely Road. You have Newton High School, Live Oak Elementary. 4 schools that all use that road to get to their schools, and students who are walking to schools, we need those sidewalks. So that was a talk as well. Let's go down to Fairview Road. We talk about the sidewalks that are supposed to be on Fairview Road. If you all know, a lot of you are not aware, we received a grant in 2021. We received a grant in 2021, a congressional grant from Congressman Hank Johnson for $800,000. I'm going to repeat that because a lot of you have been asking, where's the money coming from for these sidewalks? Commissioner Sanders, you have been talking about that you want on Fairview Road. It's not what I want. It's what is needed in the area. And so that grant was submitted in 2020, and we got approved for that grant in 2021 for sidewalks on Fairview Road, which is a project that's supposed to connect with Rockdale County, connecting trails from county to county, so you can utilize that. But as we know, on Fairview Road, it is very much needed. If you saw the video on my page yesterday, I actually was riding behind a neighbor, and behind me were buses, cars, and a bunch of traffic while this neighbor was riding down Fairview. We know that Fairview Road is also used as a road that people bypass. They bypass Almond Road, they bypass Salem Road. It is a bypass road. So trails are very much needed in that area. So talking to Mr. Clegg, who is the engineer, they are working on that. I believe it's supposed to be on the next agenda so we can see who is going to be the contractor and so forth for the commissioners to vote on that. The funding has been here since the award that we received that grant since 2021 for $800,000 to build walkable and bikeable trails on Fairview Road. That is going to be a good project, a great project, a needed project because our children ride their bikes on Fairview Road and they also are riding and walking to get to school. We know that Fairview Elementary and Clements Middle School are the two schools that utilize that area. So that was one of the things. Now that we're on Fairview Road, I'm going to give you a visualization of what we did today. And so on Fairview Road, we stopped in front of Faircliff Subdivision. If you don't know where Faircliff Subdivision is, that is across from that new development, Covington. I can't think of the name. Is it Pike or Peak? I might have the wrong name. That's right next to Silver Ridge. It's off of Jack Neely and Fairview. And also they're building a phase 2 across the street, which is right next to Faircliff. There is a intersection there, a curve that is a dead spot. In 2021, I approached that issue where they had the trees cut back so those residents that are coming out of Faircliff subdivision were able to have the opportunity to be able to see without causing accidents because it's a blind spot. So what we did today, myself and interim chair Sims and Chester Clegg, we pulled over to the side to watch that area. It is going to be a problem. So as I reiterated to our engineer, you need to constantly keep cutting back those trees, or if we got to cut those trees down so that there won't be any accidents, because now those individuals coming out of Faircliff, who was there first, have to watch the residents that are going to be moving across the street in that new subdivision, and there's one going to be next to them. So we want to make sure it's safe for the residents in the area. So we're going to make sure that there is a clear, viewable spot and cutting back those trees in that area because that's very important in regards to that. We're going to go a little bit down Fairview Road as we went to Fairview Park. We went down to Fairview Park, which is Fairview Community Park, which is inside Fairview Estates subdivision. Now, that is a park that has been talked about, but is a county-owned park, and the county is required to maintain the park. There has been discussion of us, why don't we talk to the community and to purchase it? There is an issue in regards to having that community purchase it because that park was purchased by grant funding. And when you have something purchased by grant funding, there is a fine line and some laws where you cannot sell it. I actually spoke to the director of the Department of Community Affairs myself, and he explained that in detail. But he did say they're entertain the proposal, but because it was a stabilization grant that purchased it, that put that park in place, you cannot sell it. So the county is required to maintain the park. It is a county-owned park. I'm going to repeat that. It is a county-owned park, which means it's owned by the taxpayers. So it is a public park that is utilized for anyone in the county. So we have to maintain it. What I did mention to him was the meeting that I had with the state Parks and Rec, trying to get Parks and Rec director, Mr. Steve Card. And also I had that meeting with Dwayne Mask about 3 years ago, where we spoke and talked about the future of that park. One of the things he said, which you saw the trees that were the reason why they were cut, was because Mr. Card said it was so dangerous. He wouldn't even bring his family there, that the trees needed to be cut. We knew before I came in office, they were dumping wash machines, big objects, and so forth. So now there's more visibility to where you can see what's happening between the trees, and for those to be able to use the walking trail that's safe for you to walk around that trail. What needs to be done is that park needs to be fenced in for safety. We cannot keep saying we want safety in certain areas and we do not go along with all the safety measures put in place. That park needs to be fenced in from the subdivision. As Mr. Card told us in 2021, cut off the entrance from the subdivision, turn the parking lot into a basketball court, have the entrance come from Hinton Chase Road and parking on the other side, which will deter all of the traffic or anyone coming into the subdivision. We have to move with those safety measures if you want to do put safety measures in place for that park. That has to be done. The county is responsible. The county is responsible for the safety and maintaining of that park. Again, it is a county owned park. It is not owned by the subdivision. And with it being a county owned park, anyone in Newton County has access to utilize it. As you know, in 2022 or 2021, I put in a new playground and also an outside workout center in that park. So it has a walking trail, or you can bike on that trail. So it's open. So we need to do some things put in place for safety measures. I've also contacted our Parks and Rec to make sure it's on a maintenance schedule. I always pass by there at least once a week to make sure that it is maintained. And so I do that to make sure we have that. So that in regards to safety of that area, ladies and gentlemen, my neighbors, it needs to be fenced in. Moving along, I'm trying to make sure I got all of those places. Harold Dobbs realignment, that was one of the concerns of the residents. If you go on Crawwell Road, you will see there's some construction, and the Harold Dobbs realignment is happening and occurring. It's still in effect. It is not completed. They're still working on that area because we know a subdivision is going to be built there. It was approved before my tenure, and so it was already approved. The application was put in place, and so we know that's going to be. I don't want to say it's called Dobbs Landing. I might have the wrong name, but it is on Harold Dobbs Road that is going to be put in place. So we have to make sure we at least have the infrastructure in place so that the traffic can flow freely. We do know that Crawwell Road, based on the traffic study and from GDOT, will not be widened completely until 2040. Between 2038 and completed in 2040. They won't probably get to it until 2038 based on that traffic study that came from planning and zoning that I received. And it will not be completed until 2040. So if we're putting developments on Crawwell Road, we have to have the infrastructure in place. We have to make sure it's in place so we don't have that backup. If you are on Almond Road / Crawwell Road, you will see there's some lights that are put up by the intersection by the access road. There's lighting that's going to be put there, and also that intersection is going to be changed to actually reduce some of the traffic and the hazardness that we have in that area. We know that the access road is going to be widened, as well as going to be another intersection to be able to cut off some of the traffic. They're working on that now. If you happen to be going down the access road right behind the McDonald's, you would see them actually working to put those things in place. I did ask questions about the stoplight that is at the access road and why it's always going out. I asked that question. If you're coming down the access road from the Crawwell Road, from the Brown Bridgeway, and if you look to your left, you will see a big green box. If you're coming from the interstate section, coming from the other side of Almond Road, and you're looking to your right, there's a big old green box, which is their control box. I was told that's an older or different unit. And so they're installing a new unit to make sure those lights don't go out or is not as sensitive, because we know if somebody hits it or touch it or something going on, the whole entire area goes out, and we have to have our sheriff deputies come in to assist us with traffic control. So I was informed that GDOT is working on that to get that corrected. All of that is GDOT projects. If you are going down the access road, that road is GDOT owned. That is not county road. So if you have any issues and you contact us, or if you contact Mr. Chester Clegg, the engineer, he has to contact the state of Georgia in order for anything to happen or occur or to be fixed on that road. That is not a county road. So I want to make you all aware of that. That's also even by the Lido, that's coming to that area. That is all county property. We did speak about the trash in the area. as I expressed to Mr. Clegg, that there needs to be more of a rigorous schedule on the District 3 area, especially the western side, because there's more traffic, not just District 3, because that area is 4, 3, and 2. Because there's more people using that area from Rockdale County, from Henry County, or traveling or using it as a road to get to where they need to be from various districts, it is more traveled by. And so a lot of more trash is in that area, as well as there needs to be a more rigorous, uh, we would say, cutting of the grass in that area, cutting the easements. I also expressed your concerns about the developments in that area and the CVS and the stores and all of the businesses that need to take the responsibility of cutting their area and making sure it is cleaned and it is cut and it's trimmed and manicured. So we need to make sure we put more, I would say, more things in place to enforce them or to contact them to let them know they need to take care of their area and their property. So that was expressed to Mr. Clegg today as we did our ride along. And make sure I have everything. There's a lot of notes that I have here that we actually talked about in regards to, let's see, the news. I talk about the news to the lane. I talk about the lights, the traffic box. I want to make sure I got everything for you, Faircliff. Now, interesting fact is what I love numbers. And just to give you guys a number, it costs about $45 a square feet to actually install sidewalks. So that gives you the dollar amount of how much that costs in order to do that. Let's see, we're going to improve the lights on Jack Neely. We talked about that. And the turning lanes, Salem Road. They are going to be starting the Salem Road widening project. And what I learned today, I did receive the rendering and the plans for that road, but I did not notice that when you go to Spring Road, from Spring Road, which is where the church is, and the campground, all the way to Brown Bridge, that will be closed off, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an intersection or a veer off, or however they may say it in the engineering world and the construction world. It's going to be a 4-lane highway. And so, no, Salem Road, 4-lane road. And so it will veer off. So when you get to Spring Road, that is no longer going to be a straight through going to Brown Bridge. Only people who are going to be able to access that area is the church and those homes that live, those houses that are in that area. So it's going to be a veering off 4 lanes. So I just want you to be aware of that so you won't be shocked. You heard it from Commissioner Sanders. When I heard it today, I was like, wait, I saw those plans, but I did not pay attention to that Spring Road was going to be the cutoff going to Brown Bridge. So I just want you guys to be aware, to be informed of that area. Let's see here. I did Cooper Lake. If you are on this call, I did speak in regards to the land there. I will get with you and feedback in regards to your request you have been asking for the past 3 years. Because we had so many changes for county managers, I know it got put to the wayside in regards to that land that's over in your area. I will get in contact with your HOA to give you some feedback in regards to that area. Let's see, the end of the year completion of the access road is supposed to be completed. The end of the year, also the access road area that's behind the Dunkin' Donuts, even though that's District 4, it actually concerns District 3. I want to make sure you are aware. So right behind Dunkin' Donuts, where it's going to be more of an intersection or a spear off. Of course, I am not an engineer. I don't know what the terminology for that. You can put it in the chat if you happen to know what it is. But I want to let you know the completion of that by the Crowell Road area is going to be completed by the end of the year. That's behind the Dunkin' Donuts. It's going to bring you all the way to Crowell Road. That's going to be completed by the end of the year. I did speak to Mr. Chester Clegg for those subdivisions who reached out to me in regards to speed bumps, okay, for your subdivision. He said to contact him to go through the process, but I want to give you some ins and some outs, some pros and some cons for having speed bumps in your subdivision. If you have neighbors or residents that are in need of medical assistance, it does slow down the process of emergency services getting to them. If you are looking for a certain amount of time for law enforcement to get to you, it does slow down the process of the response time of law enforcement getting to you. So those larger subdivisions, my suggestion is speed bumps are not the way to go. But if your neighbors have signed the petition, I believe you have to have 70% of the homeowners, not the renters, the homeowners signing that petition saying that they agree to the speed bump to be placed in your residential area. So you need to reach out to Mr. Chester Clegg. If you want to email him, he is Clegg, Clegg, with the same ending of my email to be able to do that. Or you can call him. He said he will walk you through it, the application process on what you need to do. My neighbors on the north side of District 3. I spoke to them about the 120 acres that was donated to us in 2021. For those who don't know, we have 120 acres that's in a trust, a conservatory, to where a former, I think it was a former developer that lived in the area, donated that land to us. 80 acres is in Newton County, 40 acres is in Rockdale. So Rockdale County and Newton County will have to come together to decide on how we're going to build it out. It only can be built as a nature park. We have acquired it and owned it since 2021. We need to build it out. We need to get it done. It could be walkable trails or bikeable trails. It can have benches. We can also use it for educational purposes. If we want to put various signs to say what's in the area, to talk about various bugs, various flowers, we can have some information or some billboards. I would say small signs that are built in the area to make it more educational in the area. Now, on the Rockdale County side, they have a zoning to where they can build a cabin. So that's why we wanted to make sure we connect with Rockdale County. For those who have watched me and followed me on social media, you have seen me many times go through this land every year with the trust. It's actually a company that has it in a trust to make sure we're not building houses on it, that we own. We have to keep that property as nature property. It's on the northern side. My residence on the northern side of District 3, closer to the horse park that's in Conyers, in that area. And so they actually watch it for the owner who donated to us to make sure that there's no houses or things that should not be on that land but nature. And so it has beautiful streams. I will be walking through it again this year. I do it every year with the trust to go ahead and we check it out. So the goal is that we need to move forward Newton County and go ahead and build out that nature park, getting with Rockdale County to hopefully that side can build a huge cabin to where various things can occur. And we just have an intergovernment agreement on the usage, but it's 120 acres. Majority of the land is in Newton County and the 40 acres is in Rockdale. So last year, I invited on the walk with me the county manager, the Parks and Rec from Newton County, and Parks and Rec from Rockdale County, along with the commissioner from Rockdale County. So we're going to do that again this year, so we can walk through it and see the land and how it actually looks. They go in, like I said, they have to check it every year based on it being in the trust. And so hopefully we can get that built out soon. It can only be nature. It cannot be anything else built, especially on the Newton County side. So we could do trails. We can build in trails. They have, like I said, they have nature. They have streams, beautiful streams. It'll be good for meditation and so forth, just walking and hiking through that area. So hopefully we can get that built out and really soon, because it wouldn't take that much to put the trails in that area, because the trails can also be, I wouldn't suggest concrete, but it could be certain things to build it out to make it economical and also efficient, but quality for that area. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. Let's see. I want to make sure that I went through everything that we went through here today. Turning lanes with that Spring Road. I think I mentioned that. Let's see. Board requests. I think I went through everything for you guys. Yes. So I went through everything that we talked about here for the various sides. If there's something that you feel that's missing in regards to District 3. Oh, we did speak about our youth facility and our park. With prayers, that's coming along. We have some things we have to handle. So hopefully that will get started before the end of the year. We're looking forward to occur, because that project needs to come to play. This is a 2017 project for the youth facility, and the park that we have is from the 2023 SPLOS. So we're going to build those together so it'll be more economical for you all, because we have funding there. Remember, we have the $4 million grant that I applied for in 2022, actually 2021, that we received in 2022. So that's money that can be added. I think all of that total together is around 12 million, almost close to $12 million to build those two projects. So it makes sense to build them together. So I can't speak on some various things because we're working those things out. So hopefully that will be coming through, and we'll be able to provide some. I will be able to provide, and the county provide some more information, because that has been the talk of you all asking me about those various items, especially a project from 2017, and also your park. Spring Hill Park is up and running. That's a 2017 project. It is open. It's a beautiful park. I actually went there the other day to actually view it. So we want ours here over here on District 3. We need that over here. We have a lot of children that are in this area, especially on the western side of Newton County, that's in need of parks and recreation, as well as our seniors. The most seniors are in District 3. The majority of your seniors are in District 3. So having that walkable and bikeable area where people can get out, there is statistics in regards to when you have nature and parks in the area, it actually brings down crime, and it also builds community. And why it builds community? Because it makes people feel a part when they have various things in their area. I don't want to see, and I'm pretty sure you all see, our neighbors having to go to Rockdale County and utilize their facility, and paying to use their facility, and Gwinnett County, and some use Henry County. So we have to make sure we have those various things in place. Just the last spoken moment, I had the opportunity to go to Johnson Park this Saturday because I was at an event. And Johnson Park in Rockdale has a full-blown outside workout center that'd be great for Newton County. There's also one. I spoke to the chair of Henry County. She said they have one as well. So there's a lot of things that we can be bringing to Newton County. I also spoke to Interim Chair Sims, because I know he works with the Industrial Development Authority as well as the chair of the Chamber and Economic Development. I said, what about our economic development over here in District 3? We're losing a lot of sales tax that is going into Rockdale County, and our tax base needs to come back to Newton County to assist with breaking down those taxes, and as well as providing more funding for us to do various things, and it's not taxing the taxpayers. So that money that's going into Rockdale and going into Henry County, we need to recover it back and bring it to Newton. So we need to have the economic development, the restaurants, the sit-down restaurants, because a lot of us are patronizing Rockdale County to go to the restaurants. I can say that I did it today. So we want to make sure that we have something on this side. A lot of us do not travel. We do not travel towards the new town center, or some of us do not travel towards 278 unless we have to go into that area. So we want to make it convenient for the tax dollars, the sales tax, to come back into our county, so those who live on this side can patronize where they live. This is Commissioner Elena Sanders. This is Commish. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave it below. This is an update on Newton County and the ride along I did today with our county engineer, Mr. Chester Clegg, and our interim county chair, Ms. Lanier Sims, as we traveled around District 3 to see what needs to be done and what needs to be changed. And they have all the plans in their hand. I gave them every detail of your concerns as well. So that all has been given to them. So now they know what you all tell me, they have it in their hands. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. You know how to reach me as well. And you all have my contact information. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Commissioner Elena Sanders. Let's talk District 3. Let's talk Newton County, giving you feedback on our district. All right, talk soon. And you all have a blessed evening and an enjoyable week. Thank you.